Adaptations adventurers, welcome to Roll for Felicity. We're here today with the penultimate episode of our Jane Austen-inspired game of Good Society, and I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be a riot. It's the first time we've played in a little while, and also the first time in quite a while that we've had all the players here, so that's going to be super, super fun. I'm looking forward to it. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I am the person who runs this channel, Roll for Felicity, and I run mostly one-shots on this channel. I also play video games, and this has been my first, what I'm calling a limited series of Good Society. Melanie, thank you so much for the 1 year subscription. Oh my gosh, that's wild. I can't believe that. Also, my computer is... Okay, it was crashing for a second, but it's okay now. The whole Zoom call froze, and I was like, how long has it been like that? But it was just a second. Anyway, also we've got Peebs in the chat. Hello, everyone. Peebs! I am, man, it's been so long since I've done a Good Society stream. I'm scatterbrained. I should let my players introduce themselves. And on the overlay, I believe it's Mace first. So Mace, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
I would love to. My name is Mace. I use she, her pronouns. In this game, I play Constance Farthingbottom, the most depressing horse girl you ever damn met. And she's gotten herself into some mess. So we're gonna see what she does about it.
Very exciting. Yes, this is gonna be a messy episode. Maybe partially due to the actions of our next guest, Ariel. Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi, I am Ariel. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Phillip Farthingbottom, who is the source of most of Constance's problems, as well as every other character's problems, including my own. So,
maybe especially your own.
Especially my own. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Next we have a sweet little angel who's never caused anyone any problems. Zafri, do you wanna introduce yourself to everyone?
You took exactly what I was gonna say. I'm Xavery, she, her. My claim to fame is being Peebs' sister. Peebs. And I play as Esther Peachtree, just an innocent school tutor who has never done anything wrong in my life, ever.
And someone who has done a middling amount of wrong, I would say, in the game. Nothing terrible,
Yeah.
but something
That seems right.
Something's
But
questionable.
just sort of like at their core isn't great, maybe.
Yeah. Tag, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. My name is Tag, they, them. I will be playing Nikola Popicha, a beautiful, graceful, basically likable, sort of former dancer, who, you know, they're not as bad as I thought they were going to. I'll say that about.
Yeah, I think that's fair, yeah.
The rest of us just ended up so much worse. Is the thing.
Here's what I'll say about Nicola is that I think that of all of the characters, they're the one most likely to get murdered because of someone else's actions at this point.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
That's true. And yeah, as I mentioned, I'm Taylor, she, her pronouns, and I will be playing a bunch of other side characters with varying levels of accents. And I'll just say that up front, so if you say it about yourself first, it doesn't hurt when other people say it. We always do a little icebreaker question, which was originally Melanie's idea in chat, who's also one of my mods. And the icebreaker question for today is more kind of just a jumping off point for discussion, which I think we talked about this at the top of last stream, like incidentally, and that's what made me make it this full question. If you could make a Muppet version of I'll say historical romance book, maybe preferably Jane Austen, but we kind of talked about it a little bit before stream. It really doesn't have to be a romance. It really doesn't have to be Jane Austen. But if you were going to make a Muppet version of some kind of historical romance book, what book would you choose? Who would be the singular human character, or which Muppets would you cast in different roles? And you all thought about this. I did not. Somehow I completely didn't think about thinking about it. So did any of you have idea? I think most of you had some kind of idea. So if any of you want to jump in with what your Muppet adaptation would be, feel free.
I'll bite the bullet. Nobody spoke up. After recently writing a game that is very gothic romance kind of themed, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks of old gothic literature, and my favorite probably that I've listened to recently is Carmilla, which is the gayest vampire story I've ever experienced. It's so much gayer than you expect it to be. And it also predates Bram Stoker's Dracula by 25 years or something. So it's secretly foundational. And I think that full of Muppets would kick ass. I think the human should actually be the main character, Laura, whose name you don't learn until more than halfway through the story. And I think her father should be Fozzie, because he's a sweet idiot. I think Carmilla's mother should absolutely be Miss Piggy. Even though she's only in a couple of scenes, she's a lot. So for sure, Miss Piggy. Carmilla, I almost feel like would have to be an original Muppet for the role. You know?
Yeah.
I can't think of one who really fits. None of the Muppets off the top of my head are that obvious a lesbian.
Maybe that'll be the next question. Just figuring out sexualities of
no
Muppets.
matter what you're streaming.
No matter what it is.
Lesbian Muppet.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Janice could put it.
I was thinking Janice too.
Janice does creep me out, so that in that way is fitting.
Mace, it looked like you also had your mind made up before Tig said there.
Yes. This one isn't strictly a romance, although it kind of falls into the same category because it is described as a comedy, although it is not. And a lot of people argue that it's not. But mine would be The Seagull by Anton Chekhov, and the Dr. Dorn, Yevgeny Sergeyevich, would be the sole human, and everyone else would be Muppets. Showing my theater kid here. I did just look up a list of Muppets because I forgot to cast the rest of the characters. But obviously Miss Piggy is Arkadina. Duh. Thinking probably Rizzo the Rat for Treplev. Who we'll figure out is something a bit funnier than
that rules.
The ending of it. I genuinely maybe Fozzie as Soren or the groundskeeper. I should really have thought about who was Masha because I had played Masha in the past when I was in the sequel, but
maybe it would just be you.
No, I can't be the only human. I can't be the one human. I can't handle that responsibility. Who's the most depressed Muppet?
Is there a depressed Muppet?
Yeah.
Maybe
who's the saddest Muppet?
Sam the Eagle.
Nah, Sam the Eagle's too confident.
Sam the Eagle is Tregoran the writer. Anyway, this doesn't have to turn into me casting the Muppets in the sequel, but like I'm gonna put more thought.
Yeah.
What about
into
Ralph?
that.
Ralph is kind of depressed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's not so bad. Yeah, no, Ralph the puppy dog could be Masha. Anyway, I'll workshop that in the meantime. But the seagull,
Yeah.
with the doctor is the only human.
Yeah, what about Xavier or Ariel? Did you have ideas for your Muppet adaptations?
Yeah. So I'm sticking with my Les Mis, where Hugh Jackman is the only human. And I think Miss Piggy, I kind of want Miss Piggy and the Swedish chef to be the master of the house couple.
Yeah, that's very good.
I don't know who I would cast as Fantine, is that her name? I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Hugh Jackman's daughter, I think, in her love interest should be played by Rizzo and Camilla the chicken.
I almost literally just fell back off my chair imagining that. I forgot the back of my chair is to my side. I almost just tipped over.
Granted, Cassette has about the agency of a chicken in Les Mis, so
I
like
want all
it
of her
tracks.
songs to be sung in chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, but yeah, one day more is all I want to experience.
It's very good. Xavier, what about you?
Oh my god. I've had like an hour to think about this. And I still don't. It's like I've never read a book in my life. The last classic book that I read was Brave New World, which is just, it's such a bad
Wild to see Muppets in that one.
Yeah, and that cannot be the answer.
Just steal the one that I didn't end up going with that we talked about before.
I don't remember. Was it Poe?
No, although
it
it'll
was,
become the entire stream if we start getting into casting Poe stories as Muppets. It was Sense and Sensibility.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, all the ones I was thinking of, like Treasure Island, there's already one. I was like, Odyssey would be fun. Apparently, there's already one.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh,
there is.
Melanie in chat did just say Muppet Treasure Island, but I'm Jim Hawkins. It's exactly the same, but with me. So-
that's such a good answer. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I think having had a little time to think about it, I think I would probably, I thought about Importance of Being Earnest. That would be a fun one to see with Muppets. I thought about Much Ado About Nothing, which would be a fun one with Muppets. But I think I'm just going to say Pride and Prejudice and just do an actual and Austen one. And I think I would, I just had such a thought. Okay, I think I would have Mr. Darcy be the human. Because then it would be kind of like Muppet Christmas Carol, where the very dour character is the human character. It would also be pretty funny. Oh, Tag, we were breaking up for a second. And actually, you're still frozen for me.
I was gonna say it's a good formula when the one human is mean to everyone.
Yeah. I think, then I thought, what if Mr. Collins was the only human, which would also be pretty funny.
Consider Mary Bennett the only human.
Oh, that's a very good one too. And I don't know who I would
Although
cast
her
as
as Rolf
Muppets.
would also be funny.
Yeah, there's no bad answers. I don't even know who would play Elizabeth. Probably a new Muppet. And then if Mr. Collins was played by a Muppet, it would be funny if it was Gonzo, but it would also be funny if it was Sam the Eagle. Either of those would be good.
Sam the Eagle could be so many different characters in Pride and Prejudice, and it would be flawless.
Yeah, Kermit would probably be Mr. Actually, Kermit and Miss Piggy as Mr. and Mrs. Bennett would be, I mean, pretty obvious.
Oh,
but
that'd
like,
be so goddamn good.
That's my answer. So with all of that being said, now that you know us all a little bit better and our comedic sensibilities, I have one other thing to say, and then we'll talk about, like, the actual game that we're about to be playing. Because this is getting close to our last episode of this limited series, I really want to, like, I was trying to think of some things that I could do to incentivize tips for the players and, like, something that would be really fun. And there's a show that I watch called Death to Divinity, which is a D&D show. And they have a thing called a chaos bar, and when they reach a certain amount of tips, the DM introduces this, like, really chaotic thing that could happen. So I'm stealing that whole cloth, and let me see. If you tip $10, or I think if collectively we get $20 from tips during the stream, I will introduce a very big chaotic kind of move. Not that chaotic, but, like, something that would really stir the pot. And then also, I have reduced the amount for giving players resolve tokens. So I used to have it as 200 bits or $2 to give a player resolve token. For this stream, I'm just going to have it be 100 bits or $1. You can pick a player and give them a resolve token. For 300 bits, you can give all the players a resolve token. For 500 bits, as usual, you can create and spread a rumor. And then for 1,000 bits or $10, I will introduce something to shake things up. And I also set up I don't know if it's Ko-Fi or Coffee, but I set up that thing where you can give people money through a website. And so you could use bits, which is Twitch's currency, or the Ko-Fi link is in chat, and you can do it that way too. Also, thank you, Melanie and Mila, both for the resubs. I appreciate you both so much. Also, both moderators. So, with all of that being said, let's get into our actual story for today. Because last session, we had some players that we did a bunch of, like, solo scenes, basically. So we started off last session with Constance Farthingbottom being confronted by her mother and basically told, hey, you need to shape up and, like, get with the family reputation and, stop gambling, stop, like, going after this person who we're in a family rivalry with, or you need to, like, or I'm basically gonna cut you off, or actually disinherit you, because she did cut you off. She cut you off financially for now, and then said the next thing is, I'm gonna disinherit you. Then we had Esther Peachtree had kind of a little, I guess we would call it a date now, but, like, a suitor called upon her while she was doing her tutoring, her piano tutoring, and her old friend from school, who's a mutual friend with Constance, said that he would be interested in courting her, and then later sent a letter to her father saying basically the same thing. Esther was interested, so that was a big thing that happened last time. And then Phillip Farthingbottom, who has been gambling and had one black eye last session from some sort of fight, some sort of boxing match, went to an underground boxing match, confronted his bookie, Mr. Poppins, and got into a fist fight, just further degrading the Farthingbottom name. And a lot of people are saying that it's a sad state of affairs when Mortimer Farthingbottom, who is the sad middle triplet, seems to be the most favorable of all the Farthingbottom triplets. That is mostly what happened. Constance sent a letter to Esther saying, hey, I'm about to give up on my dreams and myself, but I would love to, let me see what, I think I just got a Ko-Fi thing, but I will have to check. Hang on, because the alert comes up differently than it used to. But thank you for that. So Constance sent a letter to Esther, and also Philip sent a letter pretending to be Mortimer expressing that Mortimer was interested in joining the military. So a lot of things going on. This session is going to be very interesting, I think. But before we get into our next full cycle, we talked about before stream that we were thinking about having Nikola Popicha talk to Phillip Farthingbottom, who they're supposedly friends, but Nicola is supposedly the best of friends. But Nicola is having some doubts. So do we want to jump right in with that scene between Nicola and Phillip?
Sure. I guess we didn't figure out where or how that's sort of playing out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I don't think that at this point, with Nicola having kind of doubts and suspicions, that they would I don't think it would be like a sort of direct confrontation kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, like I don't think I'm showing up at your house and saying like what's up. I think I'm trying to be a little more circumspect than that.
Maybe since we're hypothetically best friends, we had like something planned a while ago.
Sure, yeah.
We could have an awkward carriage ride.
Oh, I love an awkward carriage ride. Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Very good.
Maybe we're like on our way to or from whatever the plans were even.
Right.
It doesn't even matter what they are at that point.
You could be picking me up from the boxing match, but that I think I need some recovery time.
What if Nicola is picking Phillip up from like the hospital or like a doctor? Because you were like pretty beaten up after that match. Like a bunch of people jumped on you. So maybe.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You really got the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just like. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, maybe a doctor with a small office who's relatively discreet.
Yeah.
Sent like a runner, and I was just the first person you thought of for whatever reason. So I've come to get you in a carriage.
Maybe borrowed Grant's carriage, because I believe you're staying with Grant.
I'm staying with him. Yeah. Sure. I imagine there's a little bit of a heavy silence for a little bit.
For sure. And I think that's kind of motion going on.
So, how does the other guy look?
That was a rough night.
Looks it, yes.
Thank you for picking me up in this carriage.
Of course. What? Hey, look. I'm happy to help. You know that. What am I picking you up from? I mean, the doctor, obviously, but.
I had an encounter with an unsavory character I met at the bar last night. Nothing to worry about. I'll recover from this soon. Hopefully sooner than Mortimer and his ghastly sickness.
Well, you know, he has the constitution of sort of a 90-year-old, so I think he'll be okay.
Yes. How are things with you and your uncle and yes.
I mean, fine. Phillip, he's never beaten the shit out of me and left me in sort of a gutter to crawl my way to What I'm saying is I'm not sure that's the most pertinent thing at the moment.
Yeah. I think I just need to get home and take care of my estate. My family does really rely on me.
Do they? Okay.
Yes.
For what? Specifically?
My friend Nicola, I'm sensing some hostilities. Is
I
there something you
apologize.
would like to talk about?
I don't mean to be hostile. I'm a bit confused is all, and I guess I'm wondering why I'm the person you asked to come and get you in
You're
this situation.
my oldest friend.
And not older than your own siblings.
Oh, I couldn't bother Constance. She worries too much. Mortimer's bedridden and my mother. I'm not even going to... I don't want to worry her either.
Okay. So here's the problem with that though. If I get you home safely, they're going to notice if you just sort of don't move for a few days while you recover.
Yeah. Would I be able to stay with you
okay.
for the weekend?
Oh boy, Philip.
So sorry.
My uncle is fairly permissive, but to answer your question from before, he's again expressing concerns with how long I've stayed out here, and I don't know if that's the best idea.
Well, no, don't worry. I will take care of myself, and my family will understand, I'm sure.
Okay. Look, if I get asked, what should I tell them?
His head hurts a lot right now, so
Yeah.
he's having a hard time coming up with an answer. Just tell them. Oh, I don't know what to say, Nicola. You're such a good friend to me. Just say I got in a row with a miscreant, and it'll be no, nothing to be concerned about.
All right, I'm sure that will go over great. It looks like we're about there. Do you want the hand getting into the house?
Oh, I can manage. And then I want him to just stumble out of the
Okay, all right, okay. I'm gonna just try and interpose myself a little bit in but I'm just gonna kind of try and get under his arm and try and help him into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I'm at. This might require spending a token or something. Which I got 3, so I'm fine with that. But I'm wondering if when I help Philip into the house, if I can, I had been talking before about kind of comparing the hand on the letter that Constance gave me. And I'm wondering if I could maybe spot something in Philip's room.
I actually think that this has been a while, but I believe a resolve token was spent previously for you to know
it was for me to...
that this letter is from Philip or was forged by Philip.
I think another thing
Yeah,
could
you're
be
right.
like maybe I signed something at the doctor's office and you're like,
Oh, yeah. That could be
Yeah.
too. But I think something
Um,
mechanically has already happened so that you would
yeah,
have the
no,
opportunity
you're
to know
absolutely
that.
right. I did spend one to be like, yes, I recognize that handwriting.
Yeah.
I was thinking of some kind of like proof.
If you want to spend a resolve token
But
to have like proof, that is like a different thing. I think that would be good.
Yeah. I don't know what that would be though. I said it and then I realized I don't know what would unless there was a previous draft lying around, which seems unlikely.
I think Ariel's idea
Oh.
of something from the doctor's office, because Constance and Philip both have the same last name, so Philip could have screwed up a little bit in the signing, in that it said like somewhere along it was like the last name appeared or something, whatever, something like that, where Philip slipped up and used too much of his handwriting in the forgery or something along those lines.
I could also like leave that in the carriage on accident, like a doctor's note of some sort.
Or maybe if you wrote it on like a pad of papers, you could do that.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea too.
There's paper on the top of the stack.
Yeah.
but-
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would happily get rid of a token for something like that.
Yeah, I think you'd be offering it to Philip, for Philip to have like done the thing that makes it possible for you to have like this definitive proof. Ariel, it seems like you're on board for that. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Cool. So Philip, give yourself a resolve token, and Nicola, you can spend one of yours. What does Nicola do with this? Like, not necessarily what does Nicola do with this proof, but like, now that you have it, is there anything that you are doing before we wrap this scene up?
I think it's just kind of like drop Philip in bed. I assume he pretty much passes out pretty quickly. And I would probably just like to get out of the house without being too obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else specific. I think that Nicola is just kind of like in a, you know, those narrative games that are like, this character will remember that. Is like,
Yeah.
all right, I kind of tried to talk to you and you were like evasive around me still.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of a mental note thing.
I like that. Yeah, I think what happens is you bring Philip in. If Constance, if you would want to spend a resolve token to see Philip's state at this point, I think you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but you would. It's your house, so there's a chance that you would see this.
I do love resolve tokens. Here's what I might suggest then, if it's amenable to both Ariel and Take. I wonder if Constance is just up and is kind of just like wandering the house and sees Nicola bring Philip in, drop him, and leave with something in their hand.
Ooh.
Man.
How do we
Yeah,
feel?
that's strong. That's a good one. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think.
Who would I be offering that?
I
I guess I'd be offering it to Nicola, right?
think
'Cause
you would
I'm
just
kind of
be
spying on
spending
him.
it. Because you're not trying to get Nicola to do anything. It's not like. It involves Nicola and Philip, but not, I would say, to like a disastrous intent where it's really going to change like their storylines. It's just something that you're seeing. So I think you would just spend a resolve token into the ether.
Perfect.
To have seen that. So yeah, I think Nicola, you drop Philip off. Philip passes out in bed. You spot this stack of papers on the desk. Think to yourself like, oh, Philip doesn't really write that often or whatever it is. You grab the paper. You notice, the kind of inscription, the print from previous, and grab, maybe a few of those papers so you can, confirm your suspicions. You leave with some papers. Constance, wandering the Farthingbottom estate like a ghost, sees Nicola.
Like, hand holding like a little. I literally have a candelabra nearby. I need a prop.
Of course you do.
Super wobbly.
What world was there in which you didn't have a candelabra within our
I don't have a brand to uphold.
Constance peers out the window with this candelabra, sees Nicola get into their carriage with this, these papers, and leaves. With that, that's technically the end of the previous cycle. We wanted to get something in kind of before we start this cycle of play.
Juicy.
Now, while that was happening, I did check Ko-Fi because I missed who had tipped us and what amount they had tipped. But Peebs really wants to start off strong, and I'm all for it. Something is going to happen that, actually, I think two things are going to happen that absolutely would not have happened if Peebs would not have tipped the $10, which is, I'm going to pitch this to all of you because I said beforehand this was kind of the thing. I think I'd like to do a little bit of a time jump. We had talked about Esther having maybe been on more dates with Daniel. We were interested in advancing that storyline. What I would like to propose, if you would all be interested in the first part of this 2-part series of shocking things, I think during this time jump, Daniel has proposed to Esther.
I was so afraid you were going to Yes. Yes.
First of all, Xavery, are you on board with that?
Yeah.
Cool. And then there is going to be another thing that's going to happen that involves a side character that I think I'll do during play that would not have happened otherwise. How long do you think that it has been? How much of a time jump do we want to have? And I think maybe Esther or Xavier, I'll ask you for your input first, since it's your character that has been proposed to during this time. So, what time frame do you think that Esther would have been, comfortable with being proposed to?
I think that it honestly wouldn't have taken that long. I feel like she's already made up her mind. She's given up on whatever, and so she's yeah, may as well just get this done.
Yeah, so you think a couple months maybe?
Yeah.
That seems slow for Regency marriage proposal.
Yeah. I mean, what maybe 2 months? Because that would bring us to summer. We previously had been in spring, so there would be a season change, which would be fun.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Then I propose not a marriage, but I think it would be fun if our next event scene would be Esther's engagement party.
Oh, an engagement dinner?
Yeah.
Thing? That's great.
Oh my god.
There's... Yep. Would Esther invite Nicola to such a thing? She does hate them very much.
Show off her success.
But
Yeah,
what
exactly
more?
what I was thinking, she does hate them, but also would want to brag.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you hate someone,
I feel like she knows at this point that Nicola was here, maybe trying to find someone, and she's taking it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what more would you do to someone that you truly hate, that you're not really that close to, than invite them to your engagement party when you're not friends? Yeah. I think this is great. Okay. Some time has passed as well, so I think Mortimer is back up to full health. That's such a weird way for me to phrase that. Philip, how much do you think you would have recovered in this like 2-month period from
I
your
think
injuries?
I've recovered. My ego has taken a blow, but nobody knows that. Maybe I'm mad about that.
Perfect.
And I don't. Oh wait, we won't know about my inner monologue. I'll keep that to myself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you all do have your monologue tokens back for this cycle. So if at any point during the game you want to spend your monologue token to hear what someone else's inner monologue is, that's great. I think it's too much of a missed opportunity if the Farthingbottoms are not at this event. But
I don't know what the game plan for that could be.
Yeah.
If they weren't invited, I was gonna say like Constance would genuinely think of crashing, which could be bonkers.
I think that would be really fun. Would Philip also
or like
crash?
sneaking into the garden.
Yeah. Yeah. What does everyone else think about how the Farthingbottoms? I do like the idea of both of you just independently of each other crashing the party.
Crashing for different reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, Ariel would
like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah. Ariel, do you have thoughts on what Philip might be doing if you're trying to get there, or
I kind of feel like Philip is probably worried that people are starting to figure out what's going on with him. So I think kind of doing things and being like, oh, why would you think that I'd do something like that? But like does that
You're trying to gaslight everyone.
yeah, I'm definitely trying to gaslight everyone.
That's like gatekeeper
Like
girl
me.
boss, Phillip Farthingbottom.
I cause drama. Yeah, definitely. I'm there to cause drama and not acknowledge that I'm causing drama.
yeah.
But I don't know how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll come with Constance.
Yeah. Or let me see, what other connections? You do have this friend Melissa who hasn't come up that much, so maybe Melissa brings you as like a +1.
Yeah. I haven't burnt the bridge with Melissa yet, so that's
Melissa hasn't been in too many scenes, so is maybe your only friend.
At this point.
Yeah, I think that could work out. Cool. If that's what we're thinking for the next event scene, which I think will be very juicy and exciting and chaotic. Esther, this is your engagement party. What do you think? Is it at the Peachtree estate? Did you rent out like a different location? What does it look like? Anything like that you have in mind for what Esther's engagement party would look like?
I'm trying to think. Yes, since it's this summer, I think I would have it just on the estate because their estate is like close to the like cliffs, right? So probably it would be a nice breeze and you could like see the ocean and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it would be mostly outside except for dinner, which is in obviously like the dining hall.
Okay. So kind of like a pre-dinner, like hors d'oeuvres and things outside, like, you know, sort of mixer, and then like an actual dinner inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's great. I guess I don't know for Regency era, maybe Mace, you would know this. Would Daniel also would Daniel also be there? Like if it's an engagement party, I'm assuming yes, that it would be kind of like the couple is there. It's not like a bridal shower where usually it's.
No, not quite. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know much about what their traditions would be or what the customs would be surrounding engagement parties necessarily. It could just be that the Peachtrees and the Gibbons families are like hosting an event in honor. They're just kind of saying it's in honor of their children's forthcoming union and all that jazz. So it could very well just be like it's they're inviting a bunch of folks over for like some dancing and dinner and drinks.
Yeah. And
they're saying it's in honor of their of the impending nuptials.
I like that. I think that's very fun.
We invented the engagement party. And next week we're inventing the bachelorette party.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. That's very good. Yeah, I think I kind of want to just like jump in to the party, to this pre-hors d'oeuvre section. And I think Esther and Daniel is by you, Esther. And maybe you're kind of standing someplace where it's like, oh, people can like approach us and like, you know, give us well wishes and things like that. Maybe over by the snack table. I don't know. That's where everyone goes to. I think Daniel just, I think I have something. Daniel has, there's kind of a break between people coming over to talk to you. And he says, my dear Esther, I had gotten something for you. I wasn't sure when I should give it, but I just can't help myself. I'm so excited, and I think this would go perfectly with what you're wearing right now and the way the sun is shining on you, and you just look so beautiful, and perhaps this humble gift might serve to enhance your beauty. And he pulls out a little jewelry thing with a little necklace. And what do you think Esther's wearing, like, for this engagement party, like color wise or like outfit wise?
Probably I think she's still wanting to wear really like light colors and like pastels and stuff, and probably has a like very like gauzy sleeves, and yeah, just something like that.
Yeah. I think I think he gives you, I don't know if this is period accurate or not, but I think it's fun. One of those like lockets that has like the silhouette, and like one side is his silhouette and one side is your silhouette. And it's like in these like pastel colors, like the outside of it is like pastel. But when it opens up, it's the two of you facing each other. And he gives it to you. This locket in a little box.
Yeah. You know that you needn't have gotten me anything. Just all of this was enough.
Well, I look forward to a lifetime of spoiling you, my dear.
And I say, well, it wouldn't be right not to share its beauty with all of our guests. So I like turn around and be like, do you mind like putting it on me?
Yeah, he very like gingerly, like he obviously doesn't want to be inappropriate in front of all these people, but you turn and he very gingerly fastens it and puts this necklace on you, which Constance...
I was just going to say, can this be the exact moment Constance gets there?
I was going to ask if you want to get there and see this happening.
First of all, yes. Second of all, I was thinking, I'll put this up to the group to get other opinions. I was thinking that she doesn't necessarily have the guts right now to like fully walk on and crash and be like, hi, I'm Constance, everyone, I'm here now. But I think she is actually like lurking in the trees, waiting to like try and like signal Esther over. But I think that like maybe from where she's like parked, like trying to like see what the vibe is, I will totally catch that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, you see your friend, Daniel, who's technically, I think, one of Constance's connections. Your school chum.
Bastard.
And
Yeah.
he's given this necklace to Esther and putting it on her, and it's like a very tender moment.
I think that she just kind of like holds her throat for a second and then just kind of like shrinks back into the shrubs like a pathetic person.
Maybe when I like turn around, so like facing away so that he can put the necklace on, and I like thought I saw something. Like,
I like that a lot.
We've reached the farce part of this game. I'm really psyched about it.
You squint into the trees and think, could that be Constance Farthingbottom? Surely not. What an odd thing to do.
it must have been Mortimer. He likes such.
Oh god, now I'm being mistaken for Mortimer.
Also not even invited, but just maybe, because there are bushes out there, so.
Actually,
It seems like a bush is tight.
I am actually going to, does Mortimer have resolve tokens? I think so. Mortimer is gonna spend a resolve token to come trotting up. Constance ducks behind a tree. Mortimer, as you do that, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And Mortimer says, "Oh, Constance, is that you?"
Mortimer, what are you doing here?
I was simply going on a constitutional walk.
All the way to the cliffs. For what?
Well, what are you doing here?
I am spying.
Mortimer thinks for a second, says, "Well, I suppose if you're being honest, dear sister, there was someone in attendance at this party that I was hoping that I might run into."
Who are you hoping to run into? Who do you know here?
Mortimer says, "Well, I know plenty of people who are here."
Just...
Yeah, if anyone wants to, during the game, if there are moments that you would like to see on Twitter or TikTok later, you can put > marker in chat, and I will clip it.
Literally just.
Yeah, like Mace just did.
Who do you know here?
Who do you know here? Mortimer says, well, I know just as many people here as you do, sister. I live in the same town. We have a lot of the same connections. There are plenty of people here that I know.
Well, who are you looking for in particular then while you're here? And I just kind of like sit down on the grass like we're 12.
Mortimer kind of looks at the grass first to make sure there aren't any interesting plants that he would be crushing if he sits down. Then sits down and says, "Well, I was hoping to speak to a certain our mutual friend, Nicola. I had thought might be here. I had wanted to talk to them. I hadn't seen them since they... Well, I haven't really seen them since they called on me when I was very sick, and I wanted to give a proper thank you for that."
Well, Mortimer, if you wanted to be introduced for the first time to Mr. and Popicha, you could have just asked one of us.
We've been introduced. I was just going to talk to them.
Really? Huh.
Mortimer looks at you and says, "Now, sister, I had thought that my memory had been impacted by that accident, that sickness, but you remember that I was there with you when we went riding with...
Doesn't come to mind.
Mortimer just shakes his head, stands up, kind of dusts himself off, and says, well, I'll be attending the party like a normal person, and not sneaking about in the trees.
Well, Mortimer, don't tell anyone that I'm here, all right? Please?
I certainly would not, because it would make both of us put both of us in quite a bad light, if I'm being honest.
It would, I suppose.
Mortimer...
I hope you get a chance to speak to them.
I hope so too. They kind of they start to head towards the party, realize that they're coming from just like the woods, and then loop around and go to like where other people are coming into the party. And I think Nicola or Phillip, what are the two of you up to?
As Nicola is sort of having a weird hot ear feeling, and sneezes slightly. I think largely Nicola is kind of looking around and is taking all the wrong things from having been invited to this. Specifically is like, maybe Esther and I are actually friends. That's great. How nice. I wouldn't have thought I'd have been invited. That's great. And also is a little annoyed that Daniel is doing a much better job of what they wanted to do. As Daniel has flirted with, I think, all of us at this point.
Yeah.
So, a little annoying.
Yeah, what is Nicola wearing for this engagement party?
Oh gosh, hadn't given it a thought. Boy, oh boy. I think that shit. Okay, I think what Nicola is mostly wearing like very bright red. Which you shouldn't do in this time. You absolutely shouldn't do in this time. And they're like, this is the color of love. I'm supportive.
Good.
I don't know what it is that's red. It's just a lot of red.
Yeah, I'll ask, because we have side characters who could possibly be here. I do think probably Miss Edith Elliott is here, who is, Esther's pupil. It would make sense, which, Mace, that's one of your characters. I'll leave it up to you all if, Grant or Madame Cassandra would be here. That'd be Avery or Ariel. Those are characters you control. Obviously, Daniel is here. I think those are the people. I think Cassandra or Grant.
James would probably be here, right?
Oh yeah, James would be here too, because James is friends with Esther.
I kind of feel like Cassandra would more likely be there than Grant.
I was thinking the same thing actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Cassandra, that's Avery's character, I think. So I think maybe Madame Cassandra is with, Nicola right now. It would make sense if they came together or met up since they know each other, at the party. If that's the case, what do you think, Tag, what do you think Nicola would be talking to Cassandra about? Or was there anything that they would be, like, doing while they're here?
I think they're kind of, like, almost conspiratorially like close to Cassandra, and are just like, of course, Esther and I are good friends. As everyone knows, she invited me to this. That makes perfect sense. But this Daniel, I thought maybe he was all right, but I think maybe Daniel is a bit of a cat. What do you think?
Please explain, what is party for again?
Oh, right. So the Esther, have you met Esther? I don't know who you know. I assume you know everyone. We met like twice, but we're good friends. She's over there. She's wearing a very nice necklace. She's getting married to that one there. The sort of plain, but maybe handsome kind of one.
I see. And what is supposed to happen at party? Because so far,
I don't know. I thought this was maybe the wedding, but no. So I'm not sure really what's happening here.
it's
I wish
just
I could tell you.
another like say hello party.
It seems like most of them are, right? Nobody does anything at these.
Yes. It seems like every time you bring me to party, it's say hello party.
Say hello, meet person, this is who they are.
Yes.
And then that's something you have to know. So
Right. And so when does food happen at party?
that's an excellent question. I'm just gonna sort of like grab someone who's passing by. Hopefully like some kind of staff.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just a passerby. I'm just going
Could
to
it
say,
be Ida?
Yes,
Could it be
I was just about to
10-year-old?
say, could it be Ida?
excuse me, little girl.
She's like,
Hello. When does food happen? And does anything exciting happen at this party?
oh. Let's see. Well, Miss Esther tells me that it's not very polite to ask when the schedule of things are to happen, because then it seems like you're eager to leave.
Okay.
So I don't know.
And I look back at Cassandra and I'm like, nobody has told this child anything.
No,
He's
that's
as in
really
the dark
whole,
as we
that's,
are.
It's the point of me that I don't know anything.
It's the point of me.
Okay. Well, thank you, small girl, for not telling us anything.
You are very welcome. And I think she just kind of walks in an indeterminate direction. She just
Okay.
goes.
And then I go back to Nicola and I'm like, okay, so since we are here at party, why do we like Daniel? We did not like Daniel.
I think maybe I don't like Daniel. I don't know. I thought maybe he was interested in me, but and why wouldn't he be, honestly? But
Honestly.
evidently no, more interested in Esther, who again is very lovely and probably
she?
has qualities. I'm not sure. We don't know each other well.
They seem very boring, both.
Yes. Well, maybe they will have their own little children who don't know anything. I think we're having this conversation a little too loudly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you're talking. You hear someone clear his throat, and William Peachtree is standing kind of nearby to you, which I think
I look at William Peachtree as he clears his throat, and I go, "I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you where you could get some water, but."
William says, well, I heard some rumblings about when dinner was meant to be served and should be ready in the next Perhaps 10 to 15 minutes or so in the next quarter of an hour, if anyone would have been asking about that, which of course would be very different manners than what we're used to here in England.
Oh, I suppose so. I mean, where we are from, primarily people are promised food and then don't sort of wait around for it. So it's, yes, very different manners indeed.
I'm trying to think of what I think William would say. Well, perhaps when my daughter has some little know-nothings of her own, we'll put out a scheduled plan of events for you.
I'm sure the children will find that very useful.
Well, William is just glowering at you. And walks away. I think you hear him mutter something like, don't understand exactly what good Esther sees in having these just kind of blustering as he's walking away. Yeah, very puffed up.
Well, that man was rude, but at least he was helpful.
He's totally not respecting our culture. In Russia, children know everything, and we feed them. We
The
don't make
smartest
them
children in
stand
the world.
grass.
Yes.
Very good. I think that just leaves Philip. What is Philip up to? Or when would you want Philip to arrive, I guess is another question.
At a perfectly normal time.
Such as?
The perfectly normal time.
Ariel, of all the things you've said with this character, at a perfectly normal time, as though you've never even known what that could be.
Hello.
No,
At a
I
perfectly
believe.
normal human time.
You know, setting us up for the biggest pitfall.
Okay, so
I think
yeah,
Philip...
I'm not sure if he is there yet. But I don't want it to be like a big to-do. I don't want
I
to
see what
draw
you're saying.
attention to myself.
Is Philip planning to crash the dinner, or is Philip trying to just get there during this hors d'oeuvre part and then, like, leave? Because it's probably going to be...
You know what, maybe...
Since you weren't invited, there probably would be some sort of to-do of, like, there's an extra person here.
Do you think there would be a dance?
I guess that's up to Esther. Do you think there's going to be a dance, like, after dinner or before dinner or something like that?
Yeah, probably. Would it be after? Yeah, I think after dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I want to show up after food, before dancing.
Okay.
That is a potential thing.
I like that. I think
Yes, the perfectly normal.
the perfect
Perfectly
normal time. I think
The
then
normal time in question.
Melissa probably wouldn't have wanted to miss dinner since she actually was invited.
Okay.
So I think you would come. You're technically her +1, but she would already be there when you get there.
Okay, so we can eat food. That's cool.
What about Constance? When do you think Constance would try to show up?
I think either during dinner or the dancing, where Esther could, like, if she were so inclined, excuse herself and kind of slip away without being terribly noticed. Constance will, like, I was trying to think of something that could be a little less absolutely stupid to draw her outside, but then I figured why am I thinking that thought process? I think that Constance is kind of like do a bad horse whinny outside. I'm like, oh no, one of the horses.
Okay, I have an idea. That is very, very good, and I don't think this will make that any less weird. I think before we established that why can't I think? Peachtree. The Peachtree estate is more like the, why can't I think of their name? The Bennett estate. So I don't think the Peachtrees have like a ballroom. So I kind of like the idea that maybe the dancing is gonna happen outside. Like, it's summer, so like it'll be light out later. So they do the hors d'oeuvres outside, everyone comes in for dinner, and then everyone goes back out for like dancing and like more mixing. So I still love the idea that Constance would outside be like, how can I get Esther's attention by winning like a horse? You don't have to still do that.
I'm not gonna is the thing, but that's what she will do in game.
Is there anything that anyone wants to, any conversation that people want to have for, I guess this would mostly be Esther and Nicola while you're actually having dinner? Like, are there any dinner conversations, or do we want to jump ahead to Philip? Actually, I mean, really all of the Farthingbottoms crashing the party.
Not necessarily. I guess I wanted to toss this out in case anyone else was so inclined, or to like put it someplace later in a different scene or different game. But the idea of all three Farthingbottoms running into each other, crashing the same party, and like having a Spider-Man meme moment,
yes,
I think is a riot.
I do
so whether that happens in this or later on,
I like
totally
that a lot. I think
well.
that would be a good scene. So Nicola or Esther, is there anything that you two would want to be talking about during dinner? If not, we'll do the Farthingbottoms Spider-Man moment.
I don't know that there's anyone specifically I'd want to talk to. I mean, like, maybe Esther. I don't necessarily have anything in mind there, but I don't know if anyone is like proposing a toast at some point. There's just something in my head that's very funny about like a toast going up and Nicola making eye contact with Esther and being like, "You're good friends."
Yes.
And her just being like,
yeah.
why would they say that?
Daniel, I think as that happens, I mean, that sounds like that just happens. You both kind of said what you do and how you would react. I think Daniel leans over to Esther, because of course you're seated, next to each other, and says, I had no idea that you were such good friends with Maestro Popicha.
Well, they're a long way from home, and as you know, I try to be very welcoming to guests to our country. And,
I swear to God, I'll spend a token on this if I have to, but I'm imagining James leaning over and just being like, "What, isn't that the one that you hated and what made you maybe run out of town on a rail?"
You do not have to spend a token. James is your character. That is the purpose of these side characters, James.
James just leans right into the conversation and is like, "Oh, are you friends? What? I thought I was supposed to try and scare them off. It hasn't been going so well so far."
Daniel jumps. James, where did you come from?
Daniel? Oh, Danny boy. Well, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
No, of course. We're good friends, even though they came to my party dressed like that.
I did think it seemed a bit ostentatious.
And everything is fine.
Whew, great. I thought I was going to have a dust up here in your party, and I thought, well, she's not going to like that, is she?
Right. James.
Daniel just looks extremely confused after James walks away and says, Should James in your employ? Or a friend? Do we need to...
Well, believe it or not, we studied at Oxford together, and he's really been a dear friend for as long as I can remember, so you understand.
Quite. Cool. Unless anyone else had dinner things that they wanted to do, I think that was a delightful, delightful scene. The dinner continues on, I think, without, too much, anything wild happening. And as, the dance is beginning outside, we see Phillip Farthingbottom, Constance Farthingbottom, and Mortimer Farthingbottom. Where would this be? I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of, I don't know if this is accurate. Some sort of, guest book or something where it's, you come to the party, you come to this spot, you, sign something or, leave a calling card or something, whatever. We're playing fast and loose with Regency rules, we decided. So, so I think there's some sort of guest book or something, or not guest book, I guess, but thing for everyone to sign and leave their well wishes for the couple, as they've just invented an engagement party, so they're making up all sorts of things. And you all, I think, somehow are reaching for the quill at the same time. And Mortimer looks up and says, brother, sister.
Huh?
I had to take a bit of a walk before I decided that I could... I know we saw each other earlier. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Well, it's only Philip. What is Philip going to do with that? Hello. You haven't left your room in days. Months.
Oh, I think Ariel might not be able to hear us right now.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I can't hear you. You are muted in
can you
Zoom,
hear?
though.
Oh, there. That'll be it.
Okay, sorry, there's weed eating outside, so I couldn't hear
Oh. I think
Okay.
Constance I don't know how much you missed. Constance just said, hello, I haven't seen you in months or something like
Forever.
that. Yeah, you've been holed up in your room.
Yes, I just needed some personal time.
Personal. Very well.
Good to
Brings
see
you
you,
here.
sister and brother. Is this not our community of friends? I thought it would be great to support the new lovers.
Were you invited, Philip?
I came with my friend Melissa, so that was an invitation.
I'm simply aghast that you are one of the three of us that is the most accepted to be here at the moment. You have the most actual reason to be here out of the three of us.
Yeah, what are you doing here again?
Well, some of us don't have as many good connections as you do, Philip, so count yourself very lucky.
And some
I
of
just have to
us
sit and wait.
do have connections, and we're here to see them.
Constance, you have plenty of connections. I don't know why you would, of all people, would have to sneak around a party like this.
Well, if you would come out of your room now and again, you would know that it's not going quite so well for your sister. I would appreciate you speaking to us now and again. I
Well,
worry about you. I tousle his hair a little bit.
well then, I'm going to go have a dance.
Well, if you see your good friend Maestro Popicha, please let them know that I hope that you're both feeling better since your wild night out a few months ago.
Wild night. What do you know?
I simply saw you two stumbling back into the house together.
Oh.
Although I'm not terribly surprised. They're a very good friend to you and good person, so it's only right that they would bring you home.
But
I hope that you are both well recovered.
yes, I am quite recovered, and yes, that's all I have to say. I'm. I don't think I'm really interested in having a conversation with my siblings, to be honest.
Yeah, you're like walking slowly away the whole time.
Like,
Mortimer.
Yeah.
Acting really
Great. Good to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Mortimer kind of like dusts his hands and says, "Well, I shall be enjoying this party as things are actually going quite well for me lately." And he walks away.
We're saying that before going into a party that you are crashing. It's so funny.
I think that Constance watches them go, just kind of like, because she really is like the most bullshit of the three of them right now.
Yeah.
Looks to sign her name, doesn't, and just goes back to the woods.
Oh no! Back to the
Goes back to the woods. Fuck it. I would spend another token to see Constance going back to the woods.
Yeah. I think that's another one. I don't think that's unless Mace, if you want it, I don't think that would. It's again like someone seeing someone else do something is usually doesn't go to a specific person unless it's gonna materially damage their plans.
I mean, I'm not trying to be like a little resolve token miser here. I did that.
I
hate that for me.
All the tokens. Yeah, if
Gonna swim in
Really-
a pile of resolve tokens like Scrooge McDuck.
Hate that for me. But I would argue that if someone were to see her sneaking into the woods, it would actually damage her a little bit because she's not supposed to be here, and she's generally not trying to be seen.
That's
so.
true, yeah. Do you want to take a token from Tag then to be seen?
I just
I would
clicked
love
one
to.
off for me, so.
Cool.
I will take it. Thank you so much.
I always forget to spend mine, so I'm just like, I'll spend them wherever today.
Cool. I think let's first, because we've been focusing, this is Philip's kind of first main entry into the scene today. So Philip, what are you going to do as you're walking away from your siblings? Is there someone that you're directly going to talk to?
I'm pretty sure Philip was like banned by William, right?
Yes.
Like,
Philip was banned by William, yeah.
Yep.
So straight to William.
Yeah.
What about James? I feel like
Going to talk to James?
yes, because I feel like James, being a boxer, may have heard
James
about
was there. Yeah,
right?
James saw and told Esther about it. So, yeah, James knows about your tussle.
And I don't. Would Philip know that? I feel like he was too
I don't think
drunk
I don't
to
think
know
Philip
who was there.
did know it. I think we established before that James saw, but Philip did not see James see.
I just think that Philip probably thinks that James is cool, and I would ask him for a dance.
Yeah. Go ask. Yeah, what do you first of all, I don't think we've established what Philip's wearing.
Oh, something sensible for sure.
I want to go in and
Something sensible and normal, like everyone would expect.
perfectly normal.
Obviously, duh.
Perfect. You're sensibly dressed. You go over to talk to James. What do you say to them?
Hello, James. You look to be having just as good of a time here as I'm having. Would you fancy a dance?
Oh, no, that kind of dance. Sorry. Last time I saw you, you were ready for it. So I thought that maybe you was just, for a bit of a scrap.
Scrap on the dance floor. No.
Scrap on the dance floor.
Oh, wrong.
That old chestnut.
Regency era scraps on the dance floor. I think Philip's gonna be a little confused because he's gonna be like, last time you saw me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe I was just being rambunctious, and then takes him to the dance floor, unsure of what Philip could possibly have done wrong to James.
Now I did watch the last one, but I was not here for it, and I know James saw Philip, but was it just like they saw him there and then just thought that would interest Esther, or like was it more of a I don't know, would that previous thing put James off to just having a dance with Philip?
Up to you, I guess. You know that because James saw the whole thing, so saw Philip just kind of come in and like start a fight, saw the crowd was like really not on Philip's side. But I think, it could also be the case that James would want to have the dance just because he could talk to Philip and get information to give to Esther, which is like a thing that James has been doing. You could also ask Ariel for a resolve token for James to dance with Lord Philip if you're not sure if James would want to or not.
No, I mean my inclination was that they would. And also, I'm not gonna ever remember to check if James has resolve tokens.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the only reason I would ever use them would just be to insert James into a conversation because he's very funny to voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think James goes along with that.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to ask Philip about as you're dancing together?
It would be fun to have a dance go into a scrap.
Well,
yeah. How far into this party before somebody throws a punch?
I was going to say, Ariel, if you want to spend a resolve token to not be noticed by William Peachtree that you're here, I would take a resolve. Like, William would take a resolve token for that.
Okay.
But it also would be fun if there is, a fight. You could also offer one so that William doesn't notice you're here until a moment that would be fun.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, William would definitely take that resolve token to wait until an opportune moment, which basically I'll just leave that up to you, Ariel, whenever you think it would be fun for William to notice, because I do think at that point a scrap would happen.
Right.
Yeah, so now one is definitely going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Alarming.
Chekhov's wedding party fight.
Yeah. But yeah, is there anything that James and Philip are talking about while we await the scrap?
Great question. Not a subtle person, James. So, been to any matches lately? Just again, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I've been to a few fights here and there. Nothing of consequence, really. Never seem to be lucky in betting on the right boxer, if you get what I mean.
Let me tell you, I've been the wrong boxer enough times. I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I think I let it slip, like, yeah, me too. I mean, I don't box. Um,
Well, now I suppose you wouldn't call it boxing necessarily if you're on the sidelines and you go for a bit of a swing at somebody.
um, were you there that evening? Um,
Well, you got into a fight. I thought that was what we were talking about.
oh, oh, I did not know that you were in the audience. Please do not speak of this to my family. They are not aware of
Your
that evening.
no problem.
Okay. I think you should make like a jab at me being a bad fighter, and we should have a dance off to show who is actually.
Oh, this is the best game.
Yeah,
like-
Ariel, I also think that.
Okay, I am going to say, Ariel, I would like you to spend a resolve token, even though Tig's not going to remember to spend it from James. I think if you directly say,
I'll spend one from James to also make this happen. If we all spend one, I'm
yeah,
fine with
okay,
that.
Ariel and James both spend a resolve token. Well, okay, who wants to win? Because I think the person who wants to win the dance-off should be the one who
Interesting.
has to spend the resolve token.
It almost can't be James for two reasons, actually. It's very funny to me if James is a bad dancer. And two, if Philip is a really good, flashy dancer, then going under the radar is not going to play out.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's
Yep,
true.
that's how it works.
Uh,
So I will spend a resolve token.
Yeah, I think spend a resolve token, because even though Tag is being very generous about, like, oh, you don't need to give one to James, part of the game is really, if you tell someone, I'd like you to do this, you should be spending a token.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so you are dancing. What is first, what does James's dance look like, just very briefly, and then I'd like to hear what Philip's dance looks like.
Okay, so I imagine they're in a line group dance kind of thing. The names of which I never ever know. And I think that James is like kind of passable at that. You know, you're in a crowd, right? Nobody's paying a lot of attention to a specific person. But as the two of them start kind of squaring off with each other a little bit and doing dances different from the other people around them, I think it is much more. The phrases coming to mind are stompy and semi-rhythmic.
Very good. What does Philip's dance look like that
Yeah,
he clearly wins?
I think I'm going to like be continuing to do the dance, but like add like flares and like snappiness to it. Like a little bit of sass, like but also like stomping as well, but like in a like a commanding way, like I'm commanding the dance floor.
Yeah.
And so it's like bam. If that makes sense.
Is this the point at which William Peachtree notices that you're here?
Probably because the attention is now not on the lovebirds, but on these crazy dancing fools. Yeah.
Okay, so
And
so I have a pitch of William, because we are probably needing to wrap this scene, or this novel phase is very fun, but we should probably wrap it up before too long. I think William sees Philip, and Philip sees William, and you see William Peachtree begin to puff up with anger. This would be, I think, a really good time if Constance wanted to talk to Esther. This would maybe be your chance, as what's going to happen is a fight is going to break out. We've already all decided that that's what we want, for there to be a fight. During the fight, I think would be maybe a good time for Constance to talk to Esther, and I think that is one of the things that we wanted to have happen in this scene. But if anyone has other ideas...
Well, I had been thinking something earlier that could just be a way to pull Constance in for that situation out of the woods.
Yeah.
Which is that I think Nicola, seeing Constance and lacking propriety most of the time, would just be like, oh, Constance is over there. I should go see if she wants to dance. And just like jog out towards the woods and say, no, come on, it'll be fun.
Yeah. What do you think, Mace?
I am not opposed to that. If anything, like, I feel like seeing the fight break out, Constance's instinct would be to get Esther out of there. I think that is what she would be, if, to be totally honest, if Nicola came over to her and was like, let's go dance, she'd be like, no.
Oh, I have
later.
another pitch. Nicola, I will offer you a resolve token from Mortimer for Mortimer to intercept Nicola as they are trying to go and say, Constance, come over and have a dance. For you to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go over and talk to Constance, and so you turn to, like, grab something before you go, and as you turn, Mortimer is there.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. So I'll spend the resolve token for Mortimer.
Comedy of errors.
And then, Nicola, you can take one. Okay, so a bunch of things are happening at the same time. Constance, you are seeing... This is almost like slow motion of these things.
Yeah.
Esther, you see your father getting angry, and then see Philip dancing. So you're like, okay, something's happening. Your father is starting to march over to Philip. Constance, off in the woods, you hear, like, raised voices. And then I think, remember, oh, Philip's really not supposed to be here. Like, really, really not supposed to be here. And you see Esther maybe off to the side. I think Daniel is not with her at this moment. Is maybe talking to one of his friends or something like that. Esther's alone for now. And Nicola, you also see Constance, maybe just before this fight is about to break out, are going to go to her and then turn and see Mortimer there. Do we want to see... I think we'll end with Philip getting thrown out. Do we want to see Mortimer and Nicola's scene first, or do we want to see Constance and Esther's scene first? Does anyone have any preferences?
I feel like Ariel should decide.
I
don't have a preference one or the other.
I want to see Constance and Esther first.
Yeah. Let's see that.
Gay agenda.
I feel like we've all been, like, waiting for Constance.
I know, yeah. I have two, but I don't want to be too bossy.
I'll be bossy. I'm sorry.
Constance, what do you do to get Esther's attention, or, like, how do you initiate this scene?
I think I'm gonna, as funny as it would have been for her to make a horse sound, I think I'm gonna change that.
Okay.
Seeing as the situation is a little different.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come into play later. But I think that she's gonna, like, see a literal, like, bust up, start breaking up, and she's like, oh yikes, oh gosh, and sees Esther alone. Probably not psyched about it. And I think that she'll probably do, like, I don't know, like an old sort of bird call whistle kind of pattern that they came up together as kids. and just kind of do it from the woods and just kind of like try and catch her eye and like wave her over. To be like, over here, get out of here.
Yeah, I was probably on my way to like my father to try to like diffuse the situation, but then I hear that and I know that it has to be Constance, so I'm like looking around until I find her, and then I'm kind of like shocked and like I don't know, I just like kind of like march over to her and I'm like, what are you doing here?
I had to make sure that you were okay. Look, come back here. We don't need to see that. Gosh. Come on, before someone sees you. I'll like kind of crouch in a bush or something. She's like got her skirt hiked up around her knees and it's like, if anyone were to see you talking to me at your party, you would never hear the end of it.
I don't understand why you would come. I just, everything was going so well until Philip arrived and now, and she doesn't want to be like, now you're here, but it's kind of like.
I think that she kind of hears the unspoken end of that sentence and like her eyes go to the necklace. She goes, that's lovely.
Oh, thank you. It was a gift from Daniel.
Mm-hmm. You always had good taste. But
so why did you come, Constance?
I couldn't very well show up and wish you well in public, so I thought I would do so in a sneaky way. I've been very out of sorts lately, so it seemed like I should just lean into that. And if it meant that I got to wish you well on a very important day, which you seem very happy for, I thought that would only be right. Although I'm sorry it had to end up like that. I had no idea that Philip and Mortimer were going to be here either. I didn't mean for them to cause any trouble.
And she just kind of like sighs and thinks for a second, and then she's like, this is kind of the problem though, Constance, isn't it? You can never just be forthright with anything and just say what you really mean.
Yeah. You're right. So I think that maybe it would be better to do that. I also wanted to let you know that I might be going away for a little while, and it might be a little bit before I'm back.
Going where? What do you mean away?
I am considering something of a new line of work. And I don't know, it's become very clear to me that the more I try and make things right with as many people as possible, but the more I keep getting them wrong. And if there's a way that I could keep everyone at least mildly happy and try and learn a thing or two about myself, then that's what I should do. But I guess in the end, I just want to be who I am. And I want that person to be someone you could be proud of.
I don't really know. I would say that maybe you should stop trying to make everyone happy and just do what would make you happy, but I don't know what that is, Constance. I don't understand. I thought that we were happy when we were together, but I don't understand why you didn't stick up for me. I don't understand why you chose Nicola's side, and I don't understand what you're doing now.
more I think about this, the more I keep thinking I'm getting it wrong. Okay, here it is. I'm thinking of going into the church, and I'm thinking of going into the church so I can have one blasted moment to myself instead of being with my family all the time. And I'm thinking of going to the church so my mother doesn't have to be looking over my shoulder every waking minute of my life. And I'm going into the church so I can leave Philip to ruin his own life for once, and maybe Mortimer can grow a backbone and I don't have to worry about him either. And then maybe I can become a respectable person and have my own money and my own place to live, and then maybe I can ask you to marry me, and then no one will have any sort of thoughts about it one way or the other.
I think she like is starting to like kind of chuckle at the first part because like yeah, she wouldn't want to have Philip and Mortimer as her brothers either. And then she just kind of like her jaw drops and she's like, what did you say?
Do you want me to repeat all of it?
Constance, I'm already engaged. I'm supposed to marry Daniel.
Is that what you really think?
Well, he asked me.
So did I.
You didn't, though.
Well, no, I didn't. Sorry. That's not quite it. Psych. Please say psych right now. No, I didn't. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to say any of this to... I know you well enough to know that you are going to do the thing that makes you the happiest, and you should, and I want you to. And that probably... It may very well not involve me, but I half don't mind. I do mind a fair amount, but part of me doesn't because I know that, at least I hope, that even part of you seeing me do something for myself, do all those things, be away from my family and doing something that is just for me, would make you proud of me. And if that's all that there can be, then that's all right. Daniel is an excellent person. And I think that you two would be very, very good together. And I just want you to be happy. I truly do.
And I want you to be happy. You have to know that that's all I've wanted this whole time.
This might be the most ridiculous thing I've said so far. But if you ever feel like maybe you wouldn't be the happiest there, then it's not like I'm going anywhere. Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere in that sense. I'm actually leaving, maybe. But I mean that there's no one in the world for me but you. So
You
just know my door's open. It's always open. Whatever you would want from me.
you tell me this now, but then you leave. And I just wish that you would stay.
I haven't decided just yet. I've just started looking. It's one path of a few. I guess that doesn't have to be exactly how things go. If you ask me to stay, there's very little I wouldn't do for your sake. I would be happy away from you knowing that you were all right, and I would be happy near you knowing that you were all right. I'm sorry, I don't know any other way of explaining it.
I mean, I only did all of this because I thought that you didn't care about me anymore. And now I don't know what to do.
I think that if she's okay with it, I think that Constance is kind of like gonna look like equally frustrated, but like maybe not just like grab her hand, but maybe kind of like wrap her pinky around her other pinky and just like very like inadvertently hold her hand. Just be like, first time saying what I think, and I think I may have made a bigger mess. I'm sorry. For whatever it's worth, there was never any question in my mind.
I guess I only wish that you would have told me sooner.
Esther, you're having this very intense conversation, maybe holding hands, kind of, and you can hear behind you
fight going on.
Yeah, your engagement party descending into chaos. And I think, is there anything that either of you want to say before I think I have another scene that we can cut away
Maybe
to.
drawn it.
I like that kind of ending a little bit ambiguously of it's like, you both know where each other feel, but now there's this problem that Esther is engaged.
Yeah.
So we cut away to, at the same time that is happening, Nicola, you have seen Constance. You were going to ask her to dance. You
Oh my god, I forgot I was supposed to do anything after that.
Mortimer, this will be a very quick scene, and I think then we'll take our halfway break. You turn to this, to grab whatever you're going to grab. You see Mortimer there. Also, I just noticed my light is very bright now that it's gotten darker in here. You turn to see Mortimer there, and he says, hello, Maestro Popicha.
Mortimer, it's very good to see you. I haven't seen you out of bed.
Yes, that's, what I wanted to speak with you about. May I call you Nicola?
Oh, of course. It's strange that more people don't. I keep saying they can.
Nicola, I've been thinking of how you came to call on me when I was at my lowest. And I know when we went on that ride, my prospects were nothing impressive. But I would like to say that things have been looking up for Mortimer lately. I thought I had no chance of inheriting my parents' estate, but due to some things that have been going on with Philip and Constance, I suspect I may have more prospects than I once thought. And barring that, I have been looking into a career in the military. And say that last part one more time. In the military, I hadn't thought of it.
Okay.
But they reached out to me. I thought it strange, but then I thought
they came looking for you specifically.
Yes, and I thought,
okay,
what could be more noble than to serve my country? And as I've been thinking about my prospects, I thought of you, Nicola, and I thought of you've been staying with your uncle, and I thought perhaps if you wanted someone who could take care of you, perhaps that could be me. It's gauche of me to ask here in this setting, and I don't know whose permission I should be.
Honestly, I'm not even sure still how Grant and I are related, so I couldn't answer that for you, so. No, I appreciate that. That's that's the most direct that anyone has been in a bit. It's a big question.
You don't have to answer right now. I've sprung it on you, and I actually see now that Mortimer's kind of looking behind you at a full fight that is breaking out. And says, and actually, I see my brother.
How long has that been happening right behind me?
That's one of the things with, my own fortunes, unfortunately, depend on the failing fortunes of my brother Philip. And I suspect this can really only be good for me, as bad as it is for him.
If you would permit me a little time to think about your
of course
big question, and in the meantime, well, I was going to ask you a small one and see if you would perhaps like to dance, but maybe we should
another time, perhaps. I'm not even really technically supposed to be here, so I should I should probably make my leave while attentions are elsewhere.
Okay, I'm going to go pull your brother out of that fight, probably.
Yes, I'm going to pull myself out of this party.
We'll talk.
Absolutely. He bows a little bit and then salutes a little bit and then turns about and heads into the woods. Heads into the woods from whence he came.
Got it in one.
So good.
And I think I just sort of like watch him go for a moment, and then I look over in the direction that I had seen Constance, and I look back towards Mortimer. Okay, I'm gonna go save the third one, I think. And I'll go try to keep Philip from having his head stoped in.
Yeah, Philip, you are in like a full-on scrap at this point. I think we'll end this scene. Is there anything, Philip, that you're doing or saying, or an outcome of this fight? Does Philip manage to get out of this one uninjured?
I just think it'd be really funny for him to say, like, how dare you try to besmirch my family name, and then get...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I think, I want him to have some... Yeah, there needs to be a solid hit landed on him, but I think Nicola is gonna save me.
Yeah.
I think, before it gets too bad.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to make it like, I'll get him out of here.
Yeah. Do we want... it would be great if Philip leaves this party with another black eye.
A third one.
A third black eye. Well, they've healed. The other two have healed, so...
Good point.
Do we want the black eye to come from James, or do we want the black eye to come from William Peachtree?
I think William Peachtree.
William Peachtree.
Oh, William.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop.
Esther,
Yeah.
you are having this conversation. You're hearing all of this behind you. You hear Philip say, "How dare you besmirch my good name?" And you see your dad sock Phillip Farthingbottom straight in the eye and Nicola dragging Phillip away. There's a full-on fight breaking out. And that's how your engagement party ends. I think you see Daniel is pulling Nicola is pulling Phillip away. Daniel is pulling your father away from the fight. And that's how your engagement party ends.
I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ.
And Peeps, that Mortimer thing is the second part of the $10.
Oh shit!
This is. Can we just shout out to Peeps for bringing the best twists.
Yeah.
Peeps.
Shout out to Peeps. Thank you so
He
much.
loves to make my life hard.
I was really hoping
is
we
what
would
happened.
get that $10 because I was like, both of these things would be really fun to happen. Okay, that was a little bit of a long novel phase, but I would not want to cut any of those scenes any shorter. They were all they were all so good. The next thing we're going to go into is reputation phase, but first we are going to take a break because we have been playing we've been on stream for just over 2 hours, so we're going to take a quick break.
And I need to turn on some lights.
Yeah, yeah, I need to use the restroom, and yeah.
Like the moon
I
in the
need
Bear in the
to
Big
turn
Blue
off
House.
some lights. I can't get my camera to like not.
Yeah. Cool. We are gonna be back in 15 minutes. And I'm gonna go over to our break screen. While we're on the break screen, you'll be able to read more about the guests today. Yeah, we'll see you all in a little bit with the second half of the stream. Do you want to wave goodbye to chat, everyone? Goodbye, chat. Felicitations, adventures. We are back with the second half of Good Society, Arse and Farce. And boy, howdy was the first half a doozy. Very excited to see what happens in the rest of our story tonight. But before we do that, just in case anyone's coming in the second half, we're going to do some reintroductions really quick. And also, people can mention if they have other places that you can check them out. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I use she, her pronouns. And the main things I would say that you can check out of mine are, if you're watching this and you're not following me and you think this is a fun thing, you can give me a follow. And also, you can follow me on Twitter at RollForFelicity and my YouTube channel. I feel like up Roll for Felicity. Those are the two other main things that I've got going on right now. Tig, do you want to reintroduce yourself to chat and also let them know what other kind of stuff you got going on?
Sure. I'm Tig. They, them. Oh boy, I had it all planned out in my head and then it immediately left. I'm primarily just around on the internet. I'm sure my link is somewhere you can find it. Follow me on Twitter. It'd be great if you followed me here on Twitch. I also stream sometimes and I'm just this frickin' close to getting emotes, I tell you. You can also get games that I've written and designed. They're mostly very stupid, but in a good way. The more important thing maybe is the fact that this coming Wednesday, I believe, right, Taylor?
Yes, this coming Wednesday.
We're going to be playing a game that I wrote here on Roll for Felicity, and we're going to be doing our character creation for a stream that's happening on the weekend. So that's going to be kind of chill, quick, laid back. We're just going to be making some characters and a terrible monster who we're going to try and smooch. And then if you do happen to follow me on Twitch, I'll be streaming a couple of times this week, I think, but I'll be streaming with actually Mace's partner, my dear friend and special boy, Tim, on Thursday evening, where we will be continuing to play Fire Emblem 7. And Tim has made a very beautiful pixel art me that'll be my little avatar for it, and it looks fucking great.
Oh my gosh. That's very exciting. Yeah, Tig's other stream of Fire Emblem was very, very fun. I watched, I think I caught almost all of it. Very good. And yes, on Wednesday we're gonna be doing character creation for Tig's game, which Melanie and Mila, who are both in chat, are going to be playing that as well. So that's going to be super fun. And then on Saturday...
Which means all the mods are going to be tied up. That's a no mod stream. Come in and get wild.
Auto mod will still be there, so you can't get too wild. And then on Saturday, on February 5th, we're going to be playing the game that we create the characters for. Very excited for that. Cool. Zavery, what else have you got going on? Where can people catch you?
Yeah, I'm Zavery, she, her, also Zavery on Twitter. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to, of course, shout out Peebs.
Peebs!
And also say hi to my mom who's watching. Hi,
Mom!
Same way.
Yeah, Ariel, what about you?
Yes, hi. She, her pronouns, and you can usually find me on Instagram. It's what I use the most frequently. My handle is Ariel the Gray. That's all.
Yeah, Mace, how about you?
Hi. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I also have a separate Instagram for the poetry that I write. I put out individual original poems on a typewriter, fold them up and seal them with wax, so they're like little anonymous letters, and I sell them at a coffee shop on the North Shore. If you go to the Instagram for that particular thing, you can see which places they're available in person. They're also available by private order over DMs through that account. I'm doing a little sale right now where you can get 3 love poems for Valentine's Day for the price of 2, so $10. And so if you want to give your significant other or just yourself some, I think, pretty cute love poems, hey, hit me up. Would love to hook you up with that. That's all.
Yeah. So in our first half, we had a very action-packed first novel phase of this game, Good Society, which is what we're playing. And thanks to Peebs, who tipped $10. I had said that if we got $10, if someone tipped $10, that I had a couple of big moves that I would implement, and did in fact do that with Daniel, who had been courting Esther anyway, proposing. We did a little bit of a time jump. And then at Esther and Daniel's engagement party, Mortimer proposed to Nicola, which is extremely rude. But shout out to Peebs. I do still have some more wild things that could happen. So if anybody else wants to tip $10 and make this stream or next stream absolutely wild, you can do that. But also you can use bits or Ko-Fi to tip $1 to give a player resolve token, $3 to give all players resolve tokens, or $5 to create and spread a rumor that could come into play during the game. And I'll put that in chat for those things. The other main thing, I feel bad saying like main thing, because just truly so many things happen in the first half. But another thing that I would be wild not to mention is that Constance Farthingbottom confessed her love and intentions to marry and or join the church, which are not mutually exclusive.
One of them?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out by the end of the game. We'll fucking see.
To Esther Peachtree. And Esther didn't give a direct answer, but also didn't seem opposed to it, despite the fact that she is currently at her engagement party. Phillip Farthingbottom caused a huge fight after winning a dance-off. And some other things happened too, but I think those are the broad strokes. William Peachtree punched Phillip Farthingbottom in the face, giving Phillip another black eye, the third of the game. And with that, we decided it would be a good time to go into our reputation phase. So I ask you players, based on your family background, Do any of you think that you have done anything to significantly impact your reputation? And I'll...
Well, Taylor, let's all take a look at the positive criteria, shall we?
And there were some scenes that happened kind of privately, but one of the things the rules does specifically say, which is not like a gotcha for any of you, but basically that like someone is always watching. So even things that happen in private could affect your reputation. So, you know, anyone who had things happen to them privately, if you want to bring that in for a reputation condition, it would make sense to have that happen. But yeah, does anyone have specific ideas of things that would affect your reputation?
I think it goes without saying that I should add violent to my negative
I
traits.
do think that's true.
Yeah.
I do think that's true.
I don't have any more space for negative traits.
Yeah. I think violent is a good one for that. And no, you don't. I was gonna say, do you get another negative condition? But you don't. You can only have one. Do you think Philip did anything positive for his reputation? I struggle to imagine what, but...
I'm a really good dancer. I'm really good at dancing.
You know what? That's true. Does that fit with any... What are you, old money?
Yeah, it doesn't really fit. Honestly, like, none of my negative traits really fit in with the old money, but...
Yeah.
The tastelessness.
Yeah. I don't think any of your positive tags fit with winning a dance-off, but it was cool.
Yeah, we all liked it.
Yeah, Melanie, we did resolve
Obviously.
the dance-off. Philip won the dance-off, but in doing so, brought some attention to himself from William Peachtree. I was imagining it being dance fighting. Maybe it was. Maybe
It was. For sure.
Sure, absolutely.
I really want,
Sexy
like,
dance
you know where they,
fighting.
like, hook arms and, like, spin
Oh,
around?
yeah.
I wanted there to be, like, a hook arm scene where someone's like, pow, as
Try to
they're getting
punch each other.
swung around. Yeah, that would have been
Oh my
great.
A right
gosh.
hook turns into a do-si-do.
Yeah.
Tom's the best of us.
So good. What about the rest of yous? Do you think that your reputation was affected
Ooh.
by the previous novel phase?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think that Constance almost certainly acted on desire in a way that compromised her duty.
Yeah.
Now, on my reputation tags, I had one that was crossed out because I think that it was used for resolve token or something like that. So would it just take the place of that one?
Yeah, it would just take the place of that one. And then caring, I believe, is in the same situation where now you can cross that out, and I would just, I guess, maybe put sensible up there instead. So you still have both of your negative conditions.
Yep.
Since you acted against your duty. Do you think Constance did anything that fits your positive criteria, reputation criteria?
The only thing I could think of is like, I don't think that it outweighs the fact that she subtly crashed a party, but like she did go and wish Esther well, but then followed it up with confessing her affections.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's none of it really stands. So I don't think so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nothing that would help her reputation.
Esther or Nicola,
fine with that.
what do you think about your reputations?
I could easily take 2 negative tags. You can only take one at a time.
You can only
right?
take one at a time, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I both acted in contravention of society's conventions and also acted in a way that would shame or embarrass my place of origin.
Yeah, you were loudly complaining about a party an engagement party, and the father of the bride-to-be did hear you. That alone.
Yeah.
Cool. What about positive? Do you think you gained any positive tags?
I mean, why start now? No?
Fair enough.
I don't. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I don't think I did anything that really applies to any of the positive tags.
It's so much less exciting, you know. It's way more exciting to be bad than it is to be good, you know.
Turns out not as boring party as we thought it was going to be.
I'm trying to think of what negative tag makes the most sense, being that I already have hostile and uncouth.
Yeah. Rude? Maybe just like rude. It's kind of similar to uncouth.
Impatient?
Oh,
Yeah.
impatient.
Impatient?
Because you're like, where's the food at this party? Insensitive?
My friend
Just
was
throw it in.
hungry.
Listen, I know that.
I just remembered also the toast that you did, and then James coming in and being like, wait a minute, Esther, are you friends with James? Or you're friends with Nicola? Very good.
Oh man. Maybe rude kind of works, but it's kind of similar to the
Yeah.
other ones. Impatient is good.
Ill-mannered, maybe.
Mannered is good.
Yeah. I had one just on the tip of my brain, and then it disappeared. Like presumptive. Came to mind.
Yeah.
Irrational? That seems bonkers.
While you're thinking about that too, Tig, that would bring you up to a reputation condition.
Oh, I know.
Did you have a thought for whether you wanted fracture or great offense?
Well, I already did fracture. And I almost certainly offended William.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Ooh, yeah.
So that makes good sense to me.
Cool. While you're thinking about your tag for that, what about Esther? What do you think is going on with your reputation?
Yeah, mine has to be a negative too. Acted on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality. Like, she knew full well she shouldn't be crouching behind a tree with Constance at her own engagement party.
Yeah.
Like, talking to her ex. And her fiance is like right over there.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think your engagement in general would gain you a positive tag?
I think so.
Yeah. Did you have something that you were thinking for those tags? I love Esther just has so many tags. I think maybe the most out of anyone. Go ahead, Savory.
Maybe the unfortunate connections.
Yeah. I think that's good. And then for your positive tag, because ambitious you had before, right? You didn't just add that one.
Yeah, I had that one before. Maybe rich, because we did throw this like lavish party and I got this like very fancy necklace.
Yeah, that's a good one.
From Daniel. Okay.
I think that's good. Tag, I see you have written and then crossed out strange manners.
I did not cross it out. It's I had a -1 there previously that I lost, and I can't make it not do a strike through apparently.
If
no matter
you-
how many
if you
I
times
fixed it for you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Click on Justice Cell. Same thing's happening with mine.
You've done it again.
I'm not even touching it at this point.
Done it again.
Here.
Yeah, no,
Um,
apparently if I dare to touch that cell, it decides to strike through again.
if you presume to touch that cell. Great. Yeah, I think those are all good. Man, this is just, everything is so juicy right now. There's so much stuff in this. I love this game. There's so much stuff during a game that comes into play that there's just no time to even get into. Like, you all have all of these, like, tags that you can use for resolve tokens, and there's just already so much happening that, like, a lot of times it doesn't make sense to spend them or do anything with them. Okay, I think that's everyone's reputations, unless, I don't think I skipped over anyone. I think we addressed it. Speak now or forever hold your peace about your reputation. That brings us to rumor and scandal. This will be an exciting one. Okay, are there any? Okay, so 2 that are fading, so those will be erased. How do I don't know how to strike them through. Did something change? Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, did something change in Google Docs that I don't know how to do anything anymore? But no, I just forget. Okay, so we have 2 that are struck out because they were not spread last time. Now, in rumor and scandal, who do we want to start with? Does anyone have an idea for a rumor that they would want to start? If so, we'll just start with you, whoever you may be. And maybe while you're thinking about that, I will read through the ones that we have in play right now. So the rumors that we have right now are that Constance has a secret gambling addiction, which has not been struck out, but has really impacted the story. Mortimer has so many proposals and is a hot bachelor but doesn't realize it, which I forgot that that's one of the rumors. Constance and Esther are re-sparking their previously rumored romance, which, while has not been spent for a resolve token, has happened. The recent arrival from Russia was checking out Esther Peachtree, which was about Nicola. It was Philip and not Mortimer who threw himself at Nicola when Mortimer got sick. Yeah. And then Mortimer wrote you a letter and was like, it was me who did that and not Philip. Esther is trying to make a romantic connection with Constance, is another rumor. Constance is going to run her family into the ground with the possibility of Hilda disinheriting her. Constance lost a ton of money at the last race. Esther Peachtree has, again, a lot of these are just things that happened. Like, either they ended up happening after the rumor started, or they were already happening and the rumor was true. Esther Peachtree has rebuffed Constance's advances and the two have had a falling out. Mr. Poppins is rigging the horse races. And then the other 2 ended up not being spread. So does anyone have ideas for rumors? And I don't.
This is always this is like one of my favorite things in this game, and I have so much trouble thinking of anything for it.
Yeah.
Like, I want more Mortimer rumors because those are always so fun.
Mortimer has become such a bigger character because of this phase. Because people keep spreading rumors.
Can I start one?
Yeah.
Implying, based on the fact that that he has made an offer of marriage, that he's looking to join the army, that Mortimer is well, this has less to do with making an offer of marriage, but more the fact that he is thinking of joining the military. That Mortimer's actually ripped. Mortimer's actually like super hot, and just no one knows.
Hot Mortimer, I think.
Hot Mortimer is canon.
Yeah. or
I guess I'm talking specifically about the gun show.
Yeah.
Is that Mortimer is actually like shredded.
He's been trimming the bushes in his garden.
I know, like I don't know. Someone's seen him with like the doublet open, and they're like,
here's what I think what it is. While Mortimer was like convalescent, is that what, I don't know what the word is. One of the like doctors or nurses or somebody who came in to tend to him, like he had to have his shirt off because he was sick. And they were like, oh my god.
Just a secret 9-pack.
And that's after being bedridden. So like imagine what he was like before.
He's like weeding all the time, so of course he's got like the best biceps in this side of the country.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, Mortimer looks like Geralt of Rivia. You just wouldn't notice because his clothes are like a little bit more baggy.
Exactly.
And he has bad posture, so like you can't tell.
Yeah, it's just because he's hunched.
Bad posture. Very good. Ariel, do you want to? We'll just proceed since May started. We'll proceed next in order. Ariel, do you want to spread that rumor, or do you want to make up a rumor of your own? Melanie chat just said, OMG, he's super cut and has a huge hog. Wild.
Why? Absolutely wild. that can be the case. But it is.
Yeah. I think in like the first episode, someone coined the phrase hot Mortimer truther. I think it may have been Xavery. Said, I'm a hot Mortimer truther.
Oh my
god.
This is a challenge for me too, to think of a good rumor.
Oh my god.
Sorry, my alarm's going off. I wanted to do something kind of preposterous. With James and Philip. But I can't think of anything that's good. What? We're lovers?
I said enemies to lovers.
Enemies to lovers? I mean...
We've got room for one more arc. I think we could do it.
That'd be cool. Well, can we spread the rumor that I guess, or would this be like a resolve token for Nicola to like expose Philip? But like a rumor that Philip is like,
there are,
I guess I already do that.
I don't think there are any rumors about Philip trying to hurt Constance.
Okay.
We've always just everyone's been like, should I do that? No, we'll wait. So I think it would be a good time to introduce the rumor that Philip is like trying to get Constance disinherited.
Yes.
Cool. Xavery, do you have ideas? Do you want to spread either of the previous two rumors, or do you have one of your own that you would like to create?
Oh man, I definitely want to spread the ripped Mortimer rumor, but I also kind of want to like
you'll have the chance to do two,
Mortimer?
so you could do one now and then do
I was also gonna say, if you don't spread that one, I probably will. So
yeah,
okay,
yeah, everyone will do one and then it'll bounce back the other way around, so everyone gets two chances.
Because I'm also thinking, we know that Mortimer is thinking about joining the military, so people can tell that he's like getting ready to like leave or getting ready to go for something. But what if everyone thinks he's trying to run away to Russia with Nicola?
Oh,
That would be so funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mortimer is planning to elope with Nicola. Very good. Why did that formatted very strangely? I'm not sure why. Tag, do you want to?
I just need to spend a brief moment on this thing. Imagine the weediest nerd you've ever met, right?
Listen,
Who,
rumors
like,
could be true.
I know. But
And that
just
is though they are.
imagine the weediest nerd that you've ever met in your real life, and now imagine that person came to you and said, "I'm gonna join the army," and you said, "Yeah," and they said, "Yeah, they came to me."
It's very good.
Yeah, I think spread ripped Mortimer for sure. Someone has to.
Yeah.
And then if we're bouncing back around, there's a part of me that I don't know. There's a part of me that wants like a rumor to spread that Esther like could kind of take or leave Daniel.
Ooh. Esther's not that devoted to Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, and however that, there have been spread rumors prior about like Constance specifically, but yeah, that if on top of that it's just like isn't especially devoted to like actually marrying Daniel necessarily, or
cool. That goes back to Xavery. Do you want to make up a new rumor, or do you want to spread the rumor that Philip is trying to get his siblings disinherited, or the rumor that Mortimer is planning to elope, or the rumor that Esther is not that devoted to Daniel? And if these don't get spread, then they'll fade, I believe. That's the thing that I always get confused about, but I believe this turn they fade.
I think I will spread the one about Esther and Daniel.
Cool. Ariel, that's back to you. Do you want to spread that Philip is trying to get his siblings disinherited, or that Mortimer is planning to elope with Nicola, or do you want to make up a new one?
I think I'll spread that Philip is trying to get his siblings disinherited.
Cool. That's just you, Mace. Do you want to spread the rumor that Mortimer is planning to elope, or do you want to make up a new rumor?
All of these are so good and so topical to what's just happened that I genuinely can't think of a better one. So I'll spread that Mortimer and Nicola one. And we'll just equal part it all the way around.
Cool. That's great. All right. What phase do we have next? I believe epistolary. So each of you can send or receive 2 letters. And by receive, I don't mean like receive from another player character, but you can spend resolve tokens to receive letters from connections or other characters, etc., etc. Does anyone have ideas of letters that they would want to write or receive?
I almost mentioned it while we were talking about rumors and scandal, because whether or not it got dropped in rumors, it was going to come up. I think that there's a lot of reasons they've been like very back and forth on this, but I think Nicola is gonna write to Constance, and I think they want to say, you know, I've heard that some of this information has been passed around, but I can at this point tell you with certainty that your brother Philip does not have your or your family's interests at heart, and yeah, I don't think they're like explaining all of the specifics of why they're sure of that necessarily. I think they wouldn't prefer to put that in a letter necessarily, but the thrust of the letter is like, hey, this is true, and I maybe have some proof.
Awesome.
Yeah. Philip does not have the best interests of his family at heart. Mace, do you want Constance to respond to that, or do you want some time to think about your letters?
I think I want some time to think about it, but I think that she'll definitely take that and like buy it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Other people, ideas for letters that you would like to send or receive?
I think that Esther would like to write a note to her father, just because he's been like so hard on her all this time about her like reputation and doing what's right for the family, and then he started a huge fight at my party when I'm trying to do exactly what he said. So I'm kind of like a little bit like, you know, in the most polite way possible, being like, you're being a little bit of a hypocrite, and you need to like take responsibility for what you did. And then kind of like, if she decides to end her engagement to Daniel, just like so that he'll be prepared to be like, well, I kind of deserve this because he was acting like an asshole.
So you're telling your dad that you're thinking about ending the engagement, or you're just sending that letter so that you have that as an excuse for later?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Other people, letters that you want to send or receive, or if Xavery or Tag, if you have a second one that you want to do, you can do that too.
If I may, you would spend a resolve token to get a letter from somebody, correct?
Yes. Either by offering one to another main character, or if it's like a character that I control, you can offer one to that character. Or if it's from like before Mr. Poppins was a connection, we just had like a bookie who wasn't really a specific character. You can also request letters in that way.
I would like to, then I'll spend a resolve token to get a letter from a unnamed NPC, unnamed connection. I would love for it to be like the person that Constance has been in touch with regarding the church. And is this also dictate the contents of the letter?
Yes, yeah, you get to decide.
Or it's just a letter.
You get to decide. If you spend a resolve token, you get to decide what you want it to be. Awesome. And I would be the one you'd be doing it to, so and I will probably accept.
Got it. I would like it to be an offer to take up practice at a very, very small parish with an attached schoolhouse in the countryside.
Yeah, that's very juicy. I like that. Because Constance does have like some, like, you went to like university, right? So it would make sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, she went to Oxford or Cambridge or one of those two.
Constance gets a letter offering her a small parish with a school attached. Yes, that's very juicy. Very good.
I think I would like to write a letter as Grant to Nicola, saying that he has decided he is going to retire to South America and leave all of his belongings to Nicola.
What?
Ariel, just full agent of chaos. This has never been mentioned before, but
I'm trying to give Nicola some like motivation to be like, wait, maybe I can accept a proposal.
yeah, no, I think that's great.
Holy shit.
Grant is moving to South. Also, so funny to just be like, I'm moving to South America. Not really like specific.
Somewhere.
Oh
Whoa.
gosh. Oh, what was
was
that?
weird.
I don't know what that was.
No idea.
It's done now. Sorry, everyone. There was a very high pitched
Haunted.
noise for a second.
Stream song.
Oh,
This
the moving
stream
to
can't
South
be
America.
haunted.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, what
it's
is
happening
going
again.
on?
I've never had that
Did we
happen
get
before.
too rowdy?
I don't know what it is.
Is it if I talk?
No. Xavier, are you hearing a high pitched sound?
I
Okay.
don't hear anything.
Oh, I think it's when you're talking. There's a very high pitched sound that's like very quiet but very high pitched sound that's happening.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's not the whole time that you're talking. It's just like when you start talking, it'll happen.
Yeah, like
So
comes in and
weird.
out.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Getting too rowdy.
Okay, Grant is moving to South America and is leaving his fortune to... It's also when you say I'm leaving my fortune, when he's not dead, to Nicola. Maybe, like, do you think it would be his estate rather than, like,
Yes.
okay, yeah, than, like, all his money?
Sorry, that's what I meant. To say.
Yeah. You may have said that, and I just...
I don't know what I said.
was
All my
shocked.
belongings. I'm leaving all of my belongings to you, Nicola.
Grant is moving to
Along
South
with
America and is leaving his estate
this
to
estate.
Nicola. Also, very funny that that's a letter. Like, Grant is just like sending a letter when you're in the same house.
We are in the
Already
same
on the
house.
ship.
Lid under my door. And a neutral third party.
That's very funny.
It's like a surprise letter for you.
A surprise
Ta-da!
letter.
Surprise, little one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Other letters. I think everyone's done one. So you each have the option to do one more. You don't have to. But you can. And Xavier, if you want to test out to see if this new headset is making the sound, you can.
Okay. Yeah, is it still doing it?
No, it's not doing it anymore.
No, you're fine.
Oh, nothing wrong.
Okay.
That was very weird.
Very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, also, does anyone not have resolve tokens to spend? No, everyone has resolve tokens. Okay. I'm trying to think if
I
there's
think
any
I'm down
letters
to
that
one,
I
but we've all got.
have.
Oh no, I've got two still. Where did I even get that second one?
Didn't you get one from... I think you got one from a... I don't remember. I think you got one from, like, a side character or something. I don't remember. I remember you getting one from someone, but I don't remember the specifics.
It happened so recently.
Oh, here's something. We talked about, this would be a letter that I think people would get, and we talked about this, before, like, during the break. But I think a letter that everyone would get, because this is setting up what we want to do next session, is, either everyone gets them, or just some of you, maybe only Nicola, maybe not Constance or Phillip, and Esther wouldn't get one, but invitations to Esther's wedding. Because
Yeah, you know what? I see what you're saying. Esther wouldn't get a
yeah, Esther would not get an invitation to her own wedding, so only Nicola gets this, I guess, technically. But you all would certainly know about it, that Miss Esther Peachtree is getting married, which, for chat's benefit, next stream that we do of this, which will be next month, is going to be our last Good Society stream, and that is what we're planning to do for our novel phase, is the Gibbons Peachtree wedding. So does anyone have letters that they would want to receive or send with having that information? Because even though 3 of you didn't get the invitation, you would certainly know about it having gone out.
I think that having gotten the letter from the parsonage, that Constance would send Esther a note that just had the day she's planning to leave, the address, maybe like a little sketch of the building with the schoolhouse and the little cottage attached, and say the door is always open.
Can the sketch have the door open to like
of
the
course it can.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
honestly some dissonance otherwise, but you said
Yeah, ridiculous. But the door was
The door was
closed.
always open, but
I'm getting some mixed signals from you, Constance. The door is clearly closed. Yes.
very cute. Constance sent a letter to Esther with the info for the parsonage. Very cute. Nicola or Philip or Esther, do you have other things that you would, or you could also write them from your secondary characters. If you had secondary characters that you wanted for the 3 of you.
Not convinced Edith can write, so it's finally a loss.
Yeah.
I don't think Philip's any place to write a letter, but we already did Grant, so I think I'm good.
I think Nicola, you last left off with with Mortimer just being like, I'll talk to you later. Mortimer I don't know how much time will have passed between the engagement party and the wedding, but consistently during however much time this has passed, you have been getting updates from Mortimer with his like schedule, like his event schedule, just to be like, this is where I'll be
Jesus.
if you want to talk.
I was so thinking about it, but that's a lot.
But listen, Nicola was complaining about how no one says anything about whatever plans are happening, and Mortimer is giving them all of their information straight up.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a
Yeah,
match
but
made in heaven.
imagine you received an updated social calendar from someone who wanted to marry you daily.
Yeah, but imagine they were
Well,
shredded.
not
But
daily.
Imagine they were shredded.
He's not sending it daily. I'm not saying like weekly or like, something like that, where it's like, this is what I'm going to be doing this week. So not every day.
That's fine though.
Yeah, but like
that's
maybe...
actually great.
Yeah. And I think it's like not handwritten. So like you're getting these things like from the from the
yeah, we're sharing a Google Calendar.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very like, if you should happen to, whatever, here's my plans. But it's like, well, that is still weird. Still a bit odd.
Yeah.
But you're getting those from Mortimer.
Yeah, just because we've like doubled down on him canonically being hot, we can't ever forget that he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
So important.
The schedule is like pruning, reading, pruning.
A lot of like, most of the schedule is like full days. But I think also maybe with the schedule, like, this is up to Nicola what they take from this, but there are some things of like Mortimer like giving like lectures, like occasionally will be like lecture on like this type of plant and like stuff like that. Like he's obsessed with plants, but he does like know about horticulture. Like he does like He's weird, but he is very knowledgeable about things and, like, is known to be.
Yeah.
Is there like a military botanist position? Because
Maybe there can be.
Poisons.
poisons. That's a good idea.
He knows all about poisons.
Only plant-based.
Of course.
Only natural poisons. You don't want to go with all the chemical.
Sorry, is this poison grass fed?
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh, no.
Philip, I think you said you don't think you have anything you want to write. Esther, or I guess just Xavery, are there letters that you would want to send or receive?
No, I don't think I have any more.
Cool.
I might send one from Cassandra to Mortimer, being like, don't worry about Nicola. He's like, because she knows how like muscular and whatever that Mortimer is, so instantly
Oh, so she's hitting on Mortimer, or she's saying Mortimer's good for Nicola.
not necessarily like hitting on him, just being like,
What a fucking heel turn that would be.
just be like, if they're not interested, then that's their own thing. It's not because there's anything wrong with you. Blah, blah, blah.
Just like kind of getting your foot in.
Just my friend's kind of a douchebag and I'm around.
They don't know what they're doing. They brought us all the way to London for no reason, and we're still here.
Sandra sends Mortimer a letter saying that if Nicola turns them down, that she's available, basically. Not like in so many words, but for the purposes of my notes. Very good. What about Tig? Do you have any other things that you would want to send or receive?
I was trying to think of something else with Nicola, but I didn't think of anything. So maybe I almost want James to write a letter to. Initially, I thought maybe it'd be fun if James wrote a letter to Philip. And then I also think it might be fun for James to write a letter to Esther, just looking for clarification. Right, who do we like? Who do we not like?
I like that a lot. Oh, Tag, I will give you a resolve token to have James write that letter.
James gets the resolve token, right?
Yeah, James gets it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend a resolve token from Mr. Daniel Gibbon.
Oh my god.
That he sees the letter at some point, be it like when he's visiting with Esther, like sees this letter that's like, exposing a little bit that Esther has some things going on behind the scenes that Daniel doesn't know about. But Daniel doesn't find the letter from Constance, at least not right now. But Daniel does have some resolve tokens, so we'll see next time.
James now has more resolve tokens than Nicola.
Yeah. And something a little spooky to, because that wraps up, I think, it just about wraps up the stream. Something fun for you to think about for next time is we're going into this wedding. I'm going to do the $10 thing again. So next stream, if anybody wants to tip $10, more wild things can happen. And also, I still have 3 resolve tokens that I haven't even spent. We had a wild novel phase, and I didn't even have to spend a single one of my own resolve tokens. So it'll be next stream. Who knows? Who knows what could happen at Esther Peachtree's wedding? And I think with that, we're about ready to wrap up stream. This time we'll start with Xavery, for anyone who's just catching the tail end. Do you have anything that you want to say to chat before we leave everyone?
Hi, chat. Thanks for watching.
We just did plugs not that long ago, so I didn't want to say, like, oh, do we have plugs? Because it wasn't really that long ago that we did them.
Yeah, but I'm Xavery, also Xavery on Twitter. You can follow me if you want to. I never post there.
A good resounding plug. You can follow me on Twitter. I never post there.
Just try and follow me. I'm unfindable.
Ariel, what about you?
Things to say to chat. Hello, chat. Thank you for being here today. I really have nothing else to plug. You can follow me on Instagram again, Ariel the Grey. I'd love to be your friend.
Peebs is saying very pointedly in chat, pointing out that Xavery does have a shout out. So do you have anyone that you want to shout out, Xavery?
I can't think of it.
Oh my god.
Turn her to the ground.
I'm parting Peebs.
I can't.
I'm kidding. Shout out to Peebs.
Who's next? Tay. What else do you have going on, or anything that you want to say to chat?
You know, hello, and thank you for hanging out. You know, find me places or don't. That's really your business and very little of mine. I hope that we'll see some of you on Wednesday, and then on the weekend when we're playing OK Cryptid. It's a very silly game.
Yes.
You might like it.
I'm very excited.
It has a few very small similarities to this game.
Yeah. I am determined to be a menace in the OK Cryptid game, so
You've made that clear over Discord.
It's
Yes.
such a good game.
I'm very excited for it. What did I
Was that Philip?
What just happened?
Abuse. Sister abuse.
I think Philip has entered the chat.
The spirit of Philip went into Peebs.
No. Mace, do you have anything that you want to say to chat? Or things that you want to reiterate?
Wow. Hello, chat. You're such a good one. Thanks for supporting the gay agenda as always, as one should. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter if you'd like. Follow my poetry Instagram and maybe buy some of them. I think they're cute. I think they're good.
They are good.
Stay cool.
Stay cool, chat.
Stay chatty.
Stay chatty.
Cool. Yeah, so as Tag mentioned, I am going to be live, is that this Wednesday? This Wednesday, which is the 2nd. We're going to be doing character creation for OK Cryptid. Hey, Pete! We're going to be doing character creation for OK Cryptid on Saturday. We're going to be playing that game at the normal time. And then also I will be streaming on Tuesday, playing, I don't know, probably some kind of video game. I'm not sure. On the 12th, which is not this Sunday, but not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I'm going to be doing a birthday stream for myself. And I'm not sure exactly what that's going to consist of, but I am going to play a Mario Party drinking game with Mike on stream. So if that's the only thing that happens, that'll be pretty fun. And then on the 19th, I'm going to be running a one-shot of a game called Petal Paladins. Which will be very fun. And then also we don't have a date for this yet, but it will be the finale of Good Society, Arse, and Farce. And like any good farce, we're going to end with a wedding. So you all better be back for that one whenever it is. We are, my bot, or my OBS is kind of not letting me do a raid right now or see who's live. So we're not going to raid anybody because I can't get it to do what it's supposed to do. So we're just going to say goodbye to chat. Goodbye, chat. Thank you all so much. Everyone have a
Oh, her face is blurred out.
great day.
Okay, it's
It's a background.
Protecting her identity. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.